Hey guys, it's Ektar here from Hack and Slash Gaming. I just want to give you a couple of tips today on how to improve your survival rate in Nightmare mode. So my tip number one would be to gear up before heading into Nightmare mode. Gear is going to make a huge difference at this point in the game. Make sure you're buying like the best gear you possibly can from the auction house. Don't be afraid to spend some money on whatever you need, because it's going to be just a huge difference at this point. If you're not already collecting Vitality, make sure to collect that along with your main attribute. So for Witch Doctor, I'm looking for stuff that has both intelligence and vitality boosts. So tip number two would be just to know your template. At this point with my Witch Doctor, I've basically committed to using Splinters and Dire Bats along with Spirit Walk to regain mana. So if you don't know what you should be using, definitely check out some game guides, find out what's the best combination for your template at your level, and start basing your playstyle on that. My third tip would be to always keep a lot of health pots with you. One thing I noticed compared to normal was that I was just consuming way more health pots. And yeah, you always got to have a huge stock of those on you, because you will be using, 10, 20 every couple of dungeon levels. So tip number four would be to take advantage of killing sprees. These things add up quickly. The amount of XP you get from, clearing an entire room of mobs is pretty incredible, especially over time. These small bonuses will just make you level so much faster. So for tip number five, I'd say to only pick up blue items or better. Everything else is just going to sort of clog your inventory. What I do is I always try to sell every item on the AH if it's got that ability to. There's a lot of bad blue items, but usually rares you can usually collect 1,000, 2,000 gold, even higher depending on what type of bonuses they provide. Legendary items, it's sort of your decision to do what you want with them. I would suggest selling them just because it seems like they are a little inflated. You can make a bunch of extra cash doing that, but I wouldn't suggest breaking anything down. And if you can't sell it on the AH, I suggest just selling it to the blacksmith. So tip number six would be to watch out for crafting pages. It's going to be the first time that these things appear in the game for you, and if you're not paying attention, you'll just sort of overlook them. Although I don't really recommend investing in crafting at this point, just because it is such a cash sink and the money is better spent on the AH, they will eventually come into play when you're crafting at later levels. So my last tip would just be ready for combat in Nightmare mode. One thing you'll notice is that the mobs are obviously a lot stronger, but along with that is that champions and elites are also extremely strong now. Some of them are even as tough as bosses, so you can sometimes get overwhelmed by them. Some of them do have resistances and that sort of thing. Just watch out for that stuff. Kiting and dodging are going to be really important now, because the monsters are going to be much more aggressive. And yeah, so hopefully these tips can help you improve your survival in Nightmare. Thanks for watching, guys.